So if you're Disney and you open a Star Wars land that nobody likes when it first opens because it had nothing to do with Star Wars, what do? You wait about 7-8 years and then you bring in the original trilogy characters that everybody wanted on day one.
Right. And then no one's going to really care about now.
And nobody cares about now because the brand has been completely decimated. But I guess better late than never, Han Solo and Princess Leia are coming to Galaxy's Edge.
In Disneyland.
In Disneyland, years after the Falcon attraction opens. You would think Han Solo and Chewie and the Falcon, that's just kind of a no-brainer, right? Well,
no, it was Rey and Chewie and the Falcon.
Oh my God. Galaxy's Edge is one of the biggest Disney blunders in the history of Disney. Like, it was a huge miscalculation. You had at one point in time the most popular space fantasy science fiction franchise in history. You had the rights to it. You could do a theme park based on it. And what did you do? You created a new planet that was not in any of the movies, new characters that were not in any of the movies, and it was based on the new movies, which didn't have the legacy behind it and the brand power behind it that the original characters had. You had no Darth Vader. You know, it's like, what are you doing?
And it was a bad idea. And we talked about before. It was an Imagineer said flat out, it was going to be original trilogy. Why the Falcon's there? It was going to be like, Mos Eisley Cantina. It was going to be these different things and all that. That's why the ads are in the Rise of Resistance ride and all that. And then Bob Iger thought, well, Force Awakens did pretty good. Let's change it because ours is better. And they did. And then when he was like, oh, we don't even have to advertise. Everybody's just going to show up. And then no one did because everybody at that point was sick to death of Star Wars. Because when it opened, was it 2019? Yeah. And at that point, we just had the Last Jedi fiasco. We hadn't had the Rise of Skywalker, which made people even more angry. Yeah. You bastardized the characters people loved. You ruined them. And then people just don't care. And now it's years too late. And while I do think people are going to show up, they're going to be very excited to see the original trilogy characters. So I think people are going to show up. But I don't think it's going to be to the level that it would have been several years ago because a lot of people just checked out and don't care either way.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if this is how they opened Galaxy's Edge in 2019, I think it would have been a huge hit right out of the gate. Right?
Yeah, I agree. If they had the original trilogy characters, it would have been insane. Everybody they would have been there like lined up.
People went expecting, Han, Chewie, Leia, Luke, Vader, especially Vader. I mean, when Star Wars days in Hollywood studios felt more like Star Wars land, you've done something wrong.
There were just pop-up exhibits and like dance parties and it was fun though. It was really, really good.
Yeah, but it felt like Star Wars. That whole area of Hollywood studios over by Star Tours felt very Star Wars. It felt more Star Wars than Galaxy's Edge. They didn't even have the music. Like they wanted it to be like this immersive LARPing thing. They didn't even have the damn Star Wars music in the land. They have music in every other part of Disney, even the damn bathrooms. But they didn't play any Star Wars music in Star Wars land when you went. And that's the dumbest shit. Like whoever was in charge of making these decisions, they need to get fired like back then.
It's funny because when they had the announcement for like Princess Leia today, right away you recognize the princess's theme playing behind her. Yeah. Like when she's pairing. And it's funny to me because you could have had, the classic highly like the Imperial March, you could have done like the Mos Eisley Cantina band. You could have done all kinds of stuff and then you didn't do any of it.
I remember thinking I was in and I know people were like, you guys are fake Disney fans. I was in Galaxy's Edge and they're building the damn thing. Okay.
Yeah, you had to have hard hat and boots.
And and sign an NDA and all that. But I was in it and I remember thinking to myself like, wow, this, because I couldn't see it. Yeah, I wasn't really sure what was going on. They hadn't really explained Batoo or anything. I'm like, this is gonna be so cool to like walk through this tunnel and get hit with this Star Wars music, and there's gonna be like Ewoks running around and droids all over the place.
I want my picture taken with Ewoks.
And none of that happened. But that was what I was under the impression it was going to be. Jawas, yeah. But I thought we were going to have like aliens walking around. I thought we were going to have droids running around. I thought it was going to be like this, like just absolutely. They were talking, they were going to do lightsaber battles like in the streets with like actual lasers. And they were talking about all stuff. I'm like, this is going to be the best thing ever. And they were like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like Pandora times 100.
Yeah, okay. And then when they opened it, they took all this that they promised to paywall it behind the Star Cruiser Hotel, which flopped. And then like you weren't even allowed to play their lightsabers. Like you're supposed to come out with them and you're not allowed to use them. They tell you you're not supposed to be having them out because you might hit somebody.
Yeah, like, I mean,
they raise them for events, but that's about it.
Only a weatherman could destroy this. Like, this was a no-brainer. This should have been, it was supposed to be Disney's answer to Harry Potter. Now, when you go to Wizarding World, you feel like you're walking into the set of the movies. You feel like you're in the Harry Potter movies, and that's what people wanted from Star Wars, and Disney did not give it to them. This is the biggest fuck up, I think, ever in the history of Disney Imagineering that they
Well, I wouldn't even blame Imagineering because they were working on it to be the original trilogy. It's a
well, yeah, but I'm just saying, just whoever made that.
KK and Iger. It was KK and Iger who decided this.
And isn't it weird that as soon as Josh D'Amaro gets put in, all of a sudden, hey, the original trilogy
and KK's
characters
gone.
Yep, and the ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's coming back to the Disney parks.
Yeah, because it's stupid. And here's the thing too: like they brought Luke Skywalker and Vader back for different things, like last year, and it was I think Disneyland, maybe it was Disney World, but they have them at different places, and people went crazy. They were lined up. They were following the actor all over the place because they wanted to see him so bad. And of course, like these ones, he doesn't look that much like him. Didn't matter. It's the whole point of the fact that you want to feel like you're meeting these characters. Let's be honest, he doesn't look like Harrison Ford.
That's Flynn Rider.
He has, yeah. I think they just repurposed other actors. He has like, for his nose and stuff and features, but he was a lot older looking, even in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. He probably took actors they already had. But at least they're trying to fix it. But I don't think it's going to matter at this point because people are just so over it. It's either one or two things are going to happen. It's going to be like a huge rush of all the people who wanted it to begin with that are going to show up at the beginning. But I don't know how long it's going to stay for because then you're going to get past those people and it's going to be apathy from everybody else.
Yeah, and again, we're talking 7 years too late, 8 years too late. This needed to be. I mean, this would have sold trips. Disneyland's, especially Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge was a ghost town when it first opened. But why the hell would you go out of your way to go there? It's like, okay, it's cool to see the Falcon. I gotta admit, first time I saw the Falcon,
I loved it.
That's awesome. But then
the
I'm also
very cool. Not gonna lie.
But that was the only thing that was recognizable in the whole place.
It was really dumb. Like you could tell they were going to turn it into like the docking bay. You could tell
it was
they were
supposed to be docking bay 94.
You could tell like the restaurant was going to be supposed to be like a Mos Eisley type situation. You could tell that they were supposed to be doing that. And then they turned around and changed it to all these other things. You have to make your own adventure. And I was like, I get what you're going for because you're pushing for this LARPing because people told you that's where it's at. But a lot of people aren't comfortable with that. They just want to see what they know. Like if you had Hoth there, I'd have been like, hell yeah. And the fact you have walkers, they had to have walkers in the Rise of the Resistance, you clearly were going for something else because they aren't even in the sequel trilogy. But I noticed they're trying to put them into the new Mandalorian Grogu movie, which means they're probably going to change that to Mandalorian and Grogu or something.
Yeah, well, and
it's not looking like it's going to do well.
Like Rise of the Resistance, that whole area obviously was supposed to be Endor. And that was supposed to be like a Star Destroyer above Endor with the walkers and probably, but I'm like, that's an easy fix. You just take Kylo Ren out and put Vader in.
There's lots. I mean, because you still have like you could just say it's it's not Akbar. They call it
the blue one, blue Akbar, fake Akbar.
Just make it, skin it, make it Akbar.
That's all. Yeah, very
do
easy.
that. And I mean, but the thing is that if the stuff's working, because half the things on the ride don't work, and when it does work, it's really impressive. But it's like after you've already seen it once, like a lot of the surprises are ruined. So it kind of like, whatever.
Yeah, they really it was very weird anyway, because we went not long after it opened and it was just like nobody knew what to do. And because the queue was supposed to be part of the experience and nobody knew what to do. They're just kind of standing. I'm like, no.
Well, the cast members are kind of mean too.
They were.
I'm not talking about the ones that are supposed to be Imperials. I'm talking about like,
just in general. They had it. They just had it at that point. They were over it. And this is before the pandemic. They were just like, they were done. Yeah, I mean, it's basically, it's a good idea, poorly executed. And this is it's a Band-Aid on a gaping flesh wound, but I will give them props for trying. And I have to think this is a D'Amaro thing. Like, hey, we have Star Wars. Why don't we have the Star Wars characters? Why don't we have the Star Wars characters everybody knows in Star Wars land? That makes no sense.
They are changing in Disneyland. They're changing a bunch of things to be original trilogy. Unfortunately, they haven't done it at Disney World yet, and they better do it at Walt Disney World. Better. Yeah,
they will.
I have spoken Disney. If you do it at Disney World, I will actually come down to see it.
So what was I can't remember the name. They were trying to sell basically the whole Galaxy's Edge thing, the Batoo thing. was very much like the High Republic, where it was a bunch of like fanfic around, but they had like books.
Oh, the story group and all that.
Yeah,
shit?
the story group, and they had this like blue-haired spy girl that was running around. Nobody knew who the hell she was.
They made a little golden book about her.
Nobody knows or cares who she is. You know, it's. I know
stupid. It was dumb, but you could have had like Han, Leia, Luke, Vader.
Yeah,
you know,
Vader dance off. Do the damn Vader dance offs again. Those were fun.
Stormtroopers and stuff, not just Kylo Ren walking around.
It was dumb. It was just such a bad. I mean, just a bad execution. But yeah, Leia. I was looking at the video for Leia, and she kind of looks like Merida. So you can tell they were
just reused actors that they had.
I mean, I will give them props for trying.
The way she's making facial expressions, I think she was trained to make the princesses.
Yeah, that's a Merida.
That's a Merida. That's a Merida. Yeah. I would not be surprised if she wasn't a Merida before this. That's definitely Merida.
That's how much time we spent in the damn parks. We can tell. We can look at one and be like, yep, you're a Merida. Definitely. But it's, I mean, I will give them props for trying. Now, Variety has an article that said,
I would have given them more props that actually did it way back when.
Yeah, I would give him more props when it was obvious it was not working. And it was obvious it was not working before you opened the hotel, which we said was going to be a effing disaster. And it was, because it didn't, the hotel didn't even look like Star Wars. It looked like Star Trek. Mm-hmm. Not even good Star Trek. It looked like the new Star Trek. It looked like Kurtzman's Star Trek, the sets and stuff. It was horrible. And there was barely anything there that was worth paywalling. But yeah, Variety's got this. No Harrison Ford. Disneyland's new Han Solo debuts at Galaxy's Edge and gets roasted by fans for worst wig ever and more.
Yeah, because he doesn't look like him. But here's the thing. A lot of the characters there don't look like the actors who play them. I mean, when they have the Marvel actors coming in, or Marvel people coming in for like, because Disneyland has Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
More often than not, they look nothing like the character. It's like loose, a very loose interpretation of a character.
That's Flynn Rider.
I mean, I don't think that he's old. He looks old enough to be, Han Solo. They need someone older. But most of their actors they already have aren't older.
He looks more like Han than Alden Ehrenreich did. I mean, there's that. But it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand who the hell thought in the meeting that this was going to be, like, let's open Star Wars Land with no recognizable characters.
No, that's not true. They had their sequel trilogy characters.
Nope. Again, no recognizable characters.
You could have just said characters people care about.
Right. So yeah, this is what the responses were. He's no Harrison Ford. I'm sorry, but that's just some guy. They have similar issues with Star-Lord. Yeah, I mean, you're not look, when you're a notable actor, you're not gonna, I mean, you do what you can do, right?
Yeah.
Other responses accused Han Solo of looking like other Disney men.
Yes.
Is that Prince Charming?
See,
is that Gaston?
I think that's what they are. Is just actors they had in other characters, and they just probably have them playing these, especially the girl who plays Leia, because the way she's moving, she's clearly trained as, like you said, a Merida or something.
Yeah. I'm not gonna knock this too hard, because I'm like, guys, this is all we want.
No, I mean, encourage when they're doing something right, but the flip side is I just don't know if it's
too late.
If it's too late, that's what I'm worried about. Like for you are completely like don't want anything to do with any of it. Like me, I still like the original trilogy somewhat. And I still buy I can't make myself sit through it anymore like I used to. And I still like some of the stuff like Ewoks and some of the merch. But I mean, a lot of people are just so over it because they got called so many names, they got disappointed so many times, and then they did the Luke Skywalker. And then if you said anything about why you were upset about it, you were just a horrible bigot, and they harassed you incessantly. I can understand why people don't care anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because, I mean, even if they do a good job, like, I don't think Mando and Grogu is going to be good. I think Starfighter might be okay.
I think normies this is going to appeal to more to normies who aren't, like, super fans than it is going to be super fans.
Yeah, but that's all they want. Like, I don't know.
And let's be honest, the normies make up the majority, so it might do okay.
It might be, because they'll come in and be like, oh, look, it's Darth Vader, it's Han Solo, it's R2-D2.
They went nuts for Luke. They went absolutely crazy for him. And he looks more like Luke. This guy looks like Han, but still. That's
true. But so there we go, guys. Disney must be pretty desperate to get people to care about Star Wars again. Is it
too little, too late? I mean, the only thing they can bank on is that the normies embrace it. But a lot of the fans that would have been the ones that would have dropped tons of money and stuff, they're kind of like, yeah, no.
Yeah. We gotta wrap it up.
Yep.
Follow, subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.